Why are the top teams starting to put an emphasis on set-piece coaches? What if I told you it's because set pieces are a game breaker in football, and as more and more games are being decided by fine margins, the more important they become? 174 Premier League goals have been scored from set pieces this campaign, Arsenal scoring 18 of them, which is just over 25% of their goals. This is only 3 behind the Premier League record number of 21 set by Manchester City in the 2021-22 season. So why are set pieces playing such a huge part in Arsenal's title challenge, and what makes them so important? To get a better understanding, let's take a look at the Premier League table, where Arsenal currently sit top of the tree with 10 games left to play. Against top sides, teams tend to sit off in what many refer to as a low block, with the aim to sit deep, make it hard for the opposition to score, and then look to hit them on the break. But why are set pieces the key to opening up a low block? Let's talk about game state. Game state is the term used to describe a situation in the game, such as the position the team find themselves in during the game, for example, winning, losing or drawing. When you find yourself in a drawing game state, teams that want to sit in a low block are under no pressure to change this game plan, allowing them to sit in the low block, sit deep, make it hard to play through them and look to hit you on the break. Therefore, the ability to change the game state is extremely important, and set pieces are an organised route to be doing this, especially against low block sides. Often in a drawing game state, by scoring a set-piece goal, you can change the game state from a drawing game state to the winning game state, which then allows you to force the opposition to change their game plan. This is one of the main reasons teams like Manchester City and Arsenal have started to put more emphasis on their set-piece routines as a method to opening up low-block sides and allowing them to play their expansive brand of football. But it is also why a side like Brighton, as you can see here, are 16th in the league for set pieces with only 6 set piece goals scored. This means they don't change that game state from drawing to winning or from losing to drawing often enough, which means they're not able to play the expansive football they want to do, because Brighton want to lure teams onto them. But if teams are willing to sit in a low block off of Brighton, they need to find a way through, which isn't being found through set pieces. But now we know the why set pieces are so important, let's take a look at the how teams are becoming so much more effective from them. Think of each set piece as an individual game of chess. Every move you make will affect the game, and this is the same in set pieces. Every move is calculated to affect the space and the timings to be attacked. Movement, dummy runs, blockers, every player has their role to play within an orchestrated sequence of events which is carefully constructed by the masterminds behind them, which is the set-piece coaches. Let's take a look at Arsenal as an example, who use all of these strategies and more that I have mentioned. These different techniques can be used against zonal marking types of defenders, which can then clear the space for you to arrive in at the back post, or man-to-man teams where you're looking to try and use blockers and dummy runs to create space and carve out space in an area that you can attack behind one of your own players that is blocking the run for you. Talking tactics put it perfectly here. You're looking to target an area, and then by using techniques such as pinning, blocking, dragging players away with dummy runs and things like this is to further expose those areas that you're trying to target. Let's take a look at some of Arsenal's set-piece routines. This routine shows Arsenal creating a cluster of players towards the back post. Here, the Arsenal players want to all converge on the ball at the same time and use that prowess in physicality and aerial ability to beat West Ham to the ball. Now, from the same game against West Ham, let's take a look at a free kick routine. Here you can see Havertz positioning himself between the players as a blocker. This allows Gabriel to lose his man and run into the space carved out by Havertz's blocking movement. This next example comes for Arsenal against Crystal Palace, who are playing in more of a zonal marking system for this corner routine. But take a look at the 2v2 at the top of the box for Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel. Gabriel Jesus' movement towards the front post leaves that massive space in the middle for Gabriel to attack and find that space in the middle of the box, which has now been created by the dummy run of Gabriel Jesus. But it isn't just the movement of Gabriel Jesus that creates this space for Gabriel. If you take a look at the position of Trossard, he is also acting as a blocker who is creating space, carving space for Gabriel to run into and attack the ball. By being in this position, Trossard is not allowing the other defenders the airspace to attack the ball as Gabriel is going to meet it, giving him the advantage when attacking that ball. This takes us back to the point that every player has their role to play in an orchestrated sequence of events carefully constructed by the masterminds behind them, which are the set-piece coaches. Here is a similar example against Crystal Palace again, which led to another goal. That front post dummy movement from the attacking players in front allows Gabriel to slip behind his man and attack the back post, giving him space to attack the ball in the air and win the ball, which obviously leads to the goal. And here is another example of a set piece against Burnley that also resulted in a goal by crowding players around the keeper and allowing other players to attack the space made by the blocking players. But what do these goals have in common? All of these goals allowed Arsenal to change the state of the game, breaking open what is usually a stubborn low block and allowing them to play their more fluid, open style of football. And just to put into context the importance of those goals for Arsenal, here are the results of Brighton against the same opposition, but this is a team in Brighton that score less set pieces and struggle more against low blocks as a result of that. So, to conclude the original question of why big teams are starting to put more emphasis on set-piece coaches. The reason for this is because the construction of a good set-piece routine can break open the entire game state of a game and allow you to play the football you want to play.